What's up, Mark here for my primal being. Welcome to Mindset Monday. Building healthy lifestyle habits can be a little bit tricky. Getting to the point where you are constantly paying attention to making sure you're creating good habits for yourself is easy enough, but the real tricky part of it is actually taking the time to scrutinize even your own shortcomings, your pitfalls, and the flaws that you have in your character. Now, the reason why this is important is because if you're always focused on the positive things, it's very easy to cover up and glaze over all the negative aspects of your personality that may actually be getting in the way of you attaining a certain level of success. If you don't pay attention to the fact that you may have missed out on another day of workouts for the fourth consecutive day in a row this week, or if you don't pay attention to the fact that for every time that you get stressed out because you haven't slept, you somehow load up on all this junk food so that you can feel better about yourself, and also because you're trying to fuel yourself because of your lack of sleep, you're always going to find yourself falling short of whatever particular goal you're trying to attain. This is why it's absolutely critical that you obsessively pick apart and look into even the flaws in your game. Now, it doesn't have to be that difficult. There are a few very simple things that you can do to make this happen, and we'll go over them right now. The first and most important thing is that you have to pay attention. Like I said before, it requires a certain degree of almost absolute obsessiveness to pay attention to every single word, thought, and action that goes through your mind that makes you behave a certain way that may be compromising your ability to attain a certain level of success. Now, the reason why I say you have to really pay attention is because it's really hard to notice certain patterns of behavior that may be keeping you from reaching the next level. And in order to do that, you have to pay attention. Now, when I say pay attention, you also have to take into consideration that it takes a little bit of time for you to start to notice the behaviors that you sort of undertake whenever you find yourself in a stressful situation or in a position where it kind of gets hard and you start to compromise on your new sets of values. And those are the times that you need to kind of be mindful of so that you can establish a pattern and that you can start to navigate your way outside of that. But it definitely requires a little bit of attention. Now, the next thing you want to do is start to actually embrace the fact that there are flaws in your game. Because if you can see that there's a problem but you never acknowledge the fact and embrace those issues, well, you're never going to understand that this is actually a fundamental part of you. In order to start to address the problem, you do have to acknowledge that it is something that you have to address. It's inherent in who you are, it's inherent in your character, and that it's something that you have to go in and remove. If you're constantly in denial, you'll never acknowledge the fact that this is something that you have to work on, and it's going to take some time and effort and energy to remove, dissect, and pull away from so that you can move forward to the next step. But you definitely have to embrace the fact that there is an issue that is bothering you to begin with. After this, you then have to take the time to persistently and very perfectly perform these actions or perform the new series of behaviors to mend whatever it is that happens to be bothering you or compromising your ability to move forward. It's not simply a matter of just performing actions for the sake of performing actions so that you can feel like you're doing something. You actually have to perform the best possible form of those corrective actions to make sure that you're always on track, to make sure that you work out consistently as many times during the course of the week as you've laid them out to be, to make sure that you set yourself up so that you never fall off the wagon in terms of what your nutritional regimen happens to be, and that you abide by them on a consistent basis. Because it's very easy to fall off if you don't follow through in an almost perfect manner. So it's absolutely important that you take the time to do it consistently, perfectly, and persistently, again and again and again. And it can be very trying and very annoying, but the point of this is you're trying to create a series of habits that will lead to an overall healthy and beneficial lifestyle, and not just something you do temporarily. So it's critical that you do this on a very consistent basis. It's important to keep in mind that you are the absolute architect of your own life, and it's critical that you find, refine, and repeat these processes over and over to constantly root out and address all these issues that may be keeping you, hindering you, and crippling you from accomplishing and performing to the best of what you can possibly accomplish. So it's critical that you take the time to go ahead and do these things over and over and over all the time. It can be very easy to take these things for granted, and it does become mundane as your life goes on, but that's what it becomes as it gets incorporated into your lifestyle and in your character and in your personality. If you'd like to share your thoughts and concerns, please leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, go ahead and rate and subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the videos I post here every Monday. Once again, I'm Mark from My Primal Being. As always, have fun, be safe, and peace out.